Well, at the end of the week, we made it. Los Tres Chingones boxing. Let's get to it. Bada bing, bada boom. Here we are, Los Tres Chingones boxing, man. Here to do it again. Damn, I just can't take that stupid smile off my face just because I love doing this so much. Hey, let's go ahead and let's bring in the other Chingones from, we got special guests, actually, and we'll get to that. We'll get to why is my background a little bit different today. We'll get to all of that. Shout outs to all the Chingones and Chingonas. What's up, Vanessa? Jesus. So let's go ahead and bring in my brother in crime, the other Chingon one, Mr. David Contreras.
Hey, ¿qué pasó, Cholo Trucker? How you doing, brother? Just once again, man, I got a smile from cheek to cheek because, man, we got a great guest today. I've been looking forward to having this guy on the show all week ever since he confirmed. And once again, I'm happy because we're able to talk about our favorite subject, which is boxing, brother. And with you once again, and we're missing our brother Mike, pero ¿sabes qué? We're talking about our favorite subject, boxing.
Yeah.
Listo.
Yeah. Shout outs to our other brother in crime, well, Mr. Mike Zavala. He's not here with us today, but who we do have on here today from Temecula, California, David. He's a boxing trainer, right?
He's a boxing trainer, not only a boxing trainer, boxing coach, and the owner of Temecula Boxing. And he has some outstanding boxer. Actually, he has a future, without a doubt, a future world champion. He has Raul Lizárraga, whom I believe he's 13-0, and he's fighting on October 22nd. Hopefully, we're going to have him a week before his fight, talking about his fights. He's from beautiful San Diego, California. We have Jesse Moreno, and you know what? Jesse knows a lot about boxing, and you know what? Like I said, man, we're honored to have him on our show, and you know what? Those that are watching the show, ask him every question that you may have about boxing. And if he doesn't know it, if we don't know it, he's definitely going to know it. With us, Jesse Moreno. Welcome to the show, brother.
Thanks. We're excited to have you pleasure.
Gracias. Órale, vámonos, Recio.
Jesse, brother, go for it, big dog.
Well, you know what? I'm having a little hard time hearing.
Oh, your volume might be a little low.
Yeah, your volume might be a little. You might want to raise the volume just a little bit, Jesse. Hey, Jesse, tell us about Raul Lizárraga. He's 13-0, right? 13-0 right now?
Yeah, he's 9-0, 9 knockouts.
Oh, 9-0, okay.
Yeah, 9-0, 9 knockouts. He'll fight October 22nd. He's currently ranked 35 in the country.
35 in the country, okay.
I'm sorry, 37. 37 in the country. He won a North American title. The last fight. We're hoping at the 15th fight, we start going for some kind of silver WBC. So we're very excited with them. Little background about Raul. He was ranked number 1 as an amateur, light heavyweight, and now his record speaks for itself. 9-0, 9 knockouts. He helped out Benavides those last 2 fights. So we were in camp almost 5 months with them.
Mm-hmm.
Starting Monday, we're gonna be sparring, and I forgot the gentleman's name. I got the phone call. We'll be sparring on Sebastian Fundura's opponent.
Oh wow! Okay.
So
yeah.
It's a funny thing because I have a team that fights Cepeda. I'm not her trainer. My friend's her trainer, but she's training here. Fights the sister, and Raul will be helping that Fundura's opponent.
And Raul also has a younger brother too that is a fighter, correct?
Yeah. So he got Chris from Chango. We want to build him up a little more in the amateurs. I think we're gonna be heading over to Arizona for the Gene Lewis. tournament, and then we're leaving to the nationals on December. We'll be in Texas.
Okay. Yeah.
Want to see the way he does? He at the last state tournament, he was best boxer in the tournament. The state championships out of I don't know how many gyms were there. There was a lot of gyms. A 3-day tournament. So he got best boxer of the tournament. So we feel good. I still think he needs a little more seasoning, and then we're gonna proceed from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, Jesse, Temecula, it's becoming, I mean, very well known in the boxing community. I mean, you got your gym right there. You got David Trujillo's gym. I mean, a lot of people are looking at Temecula as a place. I mean, your gym's becoming very well known in Southern California. So, hey, you know what? Hey, congratulations, man. You guys are putting Temecula on the map in the boxing world.
Yeah,
congratulations, brother.
Yeah, I tell the kids, if you do anything with your heart, it's not a job. You know, enjoy doing it, enjoy helping them, and it shows when the kids go over there and fight. I mean, I got a kid fighting today, actually. He's fighting in Pasadena. I feel very good about that kid. So he's one of my amateurs. So I got I got 2 amateurs in Pasadena fighting.
Yeah, that's outstanding.
Yeah, for those who don't know, Temecula is actually known for being like a wine country. And but slowly, man, you guys are turning into a fight town, man, with boxing and the boxers that are coming out. You know, hearing fighters come out when they introduce them from Temecula, California. A lot of people are scratching their heads like, "What? Where's that at?" You know.
Yeah.
But,
it used to be called Temecula before.
Yeah, you're right.
So let's shout outs to Joaquin, William Boxing, our Chingona Vanessa's up in here. That's right. Shout outs to all our Chingones. So we're gonna definitely get into what's going on in the sport of boxing. Let's entertain our guest here a little bit. Want to know a little bit about him. Before we do all that, I gotta give a nice big shout out to David Martinez, the historian who was on here last Friday. He shot me this shirt. It's a dmboxing.com. That is his website. You could go check it out. Got a lot of good stuff. He sent me a lot of these old articles, man. And I'm telling you guys, I will be reading every single word on it. Man, he's got one of his bio. He sent me a couple of pictures of his pad. If you guys didn't get a chance to see last week, his house is just a complete museum. I mean, he's got, man, fights from like way back in the early 1900s. It's crazy. Obviously, Hagler, Hearn. So, and he shot me a pen, you know. So definitely gonna put all that to use. Gracias, David Martinez, the boxing historian, and we will have him back on again very soon. So, Jesse, brother, tell us a little bit, and again, to all our chingonas, we're definitely going to get into the fight tomorrow. We're going to get into the fights that took place over the weekend. We're definitely going to get into that. But, Jesse, how did you get into boxing, carnal?
I'm from East LA, brother. I'm from East LA, and everybody in East LA fights.
Enough said. I'm from East Coast too, man. Once you said that, it's like, okay, I think everybody in East LA at one point threw on some boxing, whether in the gym or just outside messing around. At one point, you threw some boxing gloves.
I grew up in Big Hazard. The project,
Big Hazard.
Okay, Ramona Gardens.
Ramona Gardens. So I grew there, and then I everybody fights. Single household mom. Joined the Navy. Joined the first gym was on Hollenbeck, and then I went to Resurrection in the 80s. Mm-hmm. I was not disciplined, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. Not disciplined, and that's what I instill in a lot of these kids, especially kids that I see have talent. I kind of learned from my mistakes, and I bring the discipline very high here in this gym. Everybody has to work hard, and if not, I'll make note of that, and they'll know that they got to turn it around a little bit.
Yeah.
I joined the Navy at 17 and a half. I've done 20 years. I was living part-time in Mexico, and I still wanted to box. So I went to a bunch of gyms in Mexico, Chetos, and I ended up with Panchito Jimenez. He had actually, I think his niece is a world champion right now, Leticia Gutierrez. Yeah, Betillo Gutierrez. That's his uncle, older guy. He had Betillo Gutierrez. I think he had the nephew had the WBC, and I want to say 5-7 years ago, the silver WBC. Yeah,
And
I mean, joining the Navy.
How long you been coaching for now? How long you been training for?
I started an assistant coach just as a hobby, and kind of it's been a long time, man. 20 years, you know. 20 years, yeah. 20 years. I learned a lot. I tried to take the back seat before I took the front seat. I learned a lot from a lot of coaches. I got like Diaz, he's one of my mentors. Learned a lot from him. He's always, guiding me in the business side and the technical side. So I learned a lot from guys in that caliber. I mean,
one of our guests, I'm sorry, somebody on the chat, my man Joaquin from New Mexico is saying, "Go Navy." What was your rate? I was an engine man.
I was SK. I didn't do that. I didn't do that. I only done that for 7 years. I was an admiral. I traveled with the admiral. What they call staff. So I worked for like 6 admirals.
Got it.
And basically, you try to babysit them. That's kind of like, you travel with them. If you ever see like movie where the admiral wants a coin, your job is to make the admiral comfortable. Make sure the hotels are booked, cars are lined up, his meetings are lined up. You drive him to meetings, stuff like that. Yeah.
Hey Jesse. So when did you open your gym? Your gym is in your home, correct? Is that where your gym is at, or did you rent a place in Temecula?
No, I started as a hobby. Started as a hobby in my garage in 2009, and then I had a bunch of Hispanic kids running around the white neighborhoods, and my ex-wife, hey, the neighbors are complaining about all these kids running around. So I opened up a little gym down below, a little 800 square feet gym, and then that grew, and then my second gym grew, and so now I have like a 3,000 square foot gym. So I've been here I opened in 2000, my first gym 2010.
And are you taking new fighters right now?
Yeah, we got new fighters all the time. Yeah, I got like I said, I got a guy from Mexico coming over next month, I think. He's 3-0. Good kid.
And let's say some of our viewers have a nephew or have a son that wants to be a fighter. How do they get a hold of you?
Oh, just Google Temecula Boxing. You'll see all my information. That's my cell number, so you can always contact me and stuff like that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, just come in and get a free trial, and if you like it, if not, I'll direct you to a gym that fits his needs.
Okay, perfect.
Hey, ¿qué hubo, Andres? Joaquin says, that's badass. You ever try out for Navy boxing team? I was on 99 to 2002.
I wasn't a boxing team like in 92, but honestly, it was a joke. The new boxing was a joke. The transition, the rotation, it was not consistent. And that's why you never see no. That's the reason I left and I went to Mexico to live with us. I wanted to keep boxing, but I didn't think the Navy was going to take me to the next level.
I knew that there was boxing in the military, but how come I never really hear about it? Obviously you hear about other sports in the military, especially, like football and everything. But why not boxing? How come that's not like a bigger deal in your opinion?
I trained when I retired, I started training the Marine boxing team. I trained them for like maybe a year and a half. They used to come over all the time. But like I said, the rotation of coaches was the mission always first in the military. So the rotation of coaches will be, they'll be coming and going. And say if I taught Dave how to jab, and the next coach tells him how to jab differently, there was no consistency in the training, and you can't go that far with that kind of training.
I get it.
In fact, an event we went to in Pomona, was it in Pomona? Yes. Some guy got airflown because he went on. He was knocked out, conscious, and that was they disassembled the whole Marine boxing team on the region, not the national, on the West Coast.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's no consistency in that training. That's my opinion. Being part of it and stuff like that.
Got it. Makes sense. Yeah, definitely. If you know you be getting taught by somebody different every week or even every month, it's you can't train somebody like that. So I agree. Guys, you guys ready to get into some boxing?
You know what? Before we do, Ed, let me give a quick shout out on our last Wednesday night. We had also another legend on our Spanish show. We had Gina Aguilera. And let me give a quick shout out. If those of you that like boxing history, he wrote 3 outstanding books. If you get a chance, those of you that are from East LA, the LA area, one of them is called The Lost Stories of the West Coast Latino Boxing. You could buy these books on Amazon for $25. These are outstanding books. We had Gina Aguilera on our Spanish show. We're going to bring them on our English show. Outstanding. The other books, this one is called The Mexican American Boxing in Los Angeles. Man, this is an outstanding book. And the last one is this one right here, Latino Boxing in Southern California. You could buy them for $25 on Amazon. This guy is another David Martinez. This guy could coach you fights, could coach you the knockouts, could coach you the box. I mean, could coach you literally the punches that were thrown in 1964 and 1970. He's another David Martinez. I think David Martinez probably beats him on the actual boxing. I mean, literally on the punches thrown. But I'll tell you, we were honored to have Gina Aguilera. And like I said, we're going to bring them on our English show. But please buy these books on Amazon. They're outstanding. And Gene, if you're watching, thank you. David Martinez, thank you for being on our show. We were honored, just like we're honored to have you once again, Jesse, on our show. Thank you once again. Buy these books. Outstanding.
And I would definitely be ordering all 3 of those books.
Outstanding. Yes.
Joaquin says we were out of Port Hueneme by Oxnard. Our coach Jose Salas took us everywhere. It actually helped my game being from New Mexico. All right, man. That's what's up, Joaquin. And I seen video of Joaquin actually throwing some chingazos in the ring, man. He looked like he knew what he was doing. So, hey, good work right there, Joaquin. That's what I'm talking about. So I know I said I was just to explain why the different background and everything like that. So I'm in the living room today for anybody who's wondering, like, hey, what's going on? My beautiful, crazy loca wife, she is sick. So she's laying in bed, just resting it up. I'm a little bit sick myself. We don't have COVID. She tested herself 2 times. Everything's all right. So people just get sick without COVID. So we're good with that. So that's why I'm decided to do it in the living room. But it's all right. Check out the 45s up there. That's my living room. But hey guys, with that, the heels of the heavyweight fight that took place over the weekend, there's a little bit more information coming out. There's a little bit more of what AJ might do. Anthony Joshua possibly looking for another opponent. He's not retiring. At least he hasn't said that yet. He's looking for other options. But David, what did you make about the heavyweight fight?
You know what? I liked it. It was what I expected. It was exactly what I expected, man. Joshua didn't give up. Joshua looked better than he did the first fight. He looked, the 9th round was a good round for him. He definitely lost the last 3 rounds. He gassed out. But I think there was a different Joshua. He went more for the body. He boxed a little better. I think Robert Garcia made a difference. I think Usyk has his number. I can't wait to see Usyk fight Fury. I personally believe, and I think a lot of people are going to disagree with me, but I'm okay to agree to disagree. But I would love to see Usyk fight Fury. I think Usyk can beat Fury, and like I said, a lot of people are gonna disagree with me. But like I said, I don't think Joshua can ever beat Usyk. I don't think he could ever beat him because I think he has his number, and I don't think Joshua has the stamina to ever beat him. I don't care if he trains with Garcia 10 more fights. I don't think he has the stamina to beat him. That's my personal opinion.
Okay, Jesse.
Same thing, my brother. I gotta piggyback off Dave. I don't think you could beat him.
No.
No way. His mind. I don't even think he has any more left in him.
Oh, you think he's washed up?
I think so. I don't think he could beat what's
Wilder?
What's the Fury?
Wilder. Yeah. What do you
Wilder.
think about Jesse? What do you think about him and Wilder?
Wilder. I got Wilder. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I think he's done. I think his mind is somewhere else, making too much money. Yeah. I think also what Hoya said when they asked him, how come you're out of stamina? Some quote around this phrase that he said, if I have $400 million, I don't feel like getting up in the morning and jogging or working hard anymore. I think his piggy bank is full. Yeah. He doesn't have the ambition no more. You need that hunger for this to be successful in this sport.
That's okay. That's the biggest thing. What's up, G Funky? Shout out to my boy G Funky Boxing, man. Any boxing aficionado, go check out G Funky Boxing. All right. That is basically the story of Rocky 3, right? He makes it to the top. He has a lot of money, and he's just not training hard anymore. You got this hungry guy in clubber language is Mr. T, and even Mickey tells him, like, you're not hungry anymore. You know, you're taking it as a joke. You got all this money and da-da-da, and we see that in the first fight, he tears him apart. I'm going to say, man, that Joshua always struck me as a pretty disciplined guy. I could be wrong. I don't know him. I'm not there at his training camp, but he always struck me as a pretty disciplined guy. He always struck me as a guy that is chasing greatness. He does want to be great. He always strikes me as a guy that, you know, reading different stories and stuff, you got to take things with a grain of salt, see what's here, see what's there. It's boxing. It's a lot of novelas, right? So, but I always saw him wanting to go after the best fights, and I always respected him for that. But I will say, I'm gonna agree. I don't think he ever beat Usyk. I don't need to see a third match between those two guys. I don't think he beats Fury. Deontay Wilder, that's another story. I think he stands a chance against Wilder. But when it comes to the fight that just passed, I said earlier in the week that AJ is just too bulky. He's just too muscle. He's too, you know, he looks a little bit weird, a little bit awkward. He's got to lean. He's got to get a little bit more lean, man. He's a little bit too much like a bodybuilder. Just the way he stands and everything. I think that could be part of the reason why he runs out of gas, man. He's just too bulky. Should he slim down? Should he lose some of that muscle mass?
I think so. Maybe his condition is a little off. I should have brought my conditioning coach, Travis. Yeah, I think he mentioned the same thing. He's too bulky. The cardio needs to be there, a little, you know, more intense versus lifting weights. My theory is that thing slows you down a little bit.
All right, let's talk about where he goes, and then we'll get to Usyk. So apparently, there's some rumblings that maybe he could be fighting Otto Wallen. Now, this is just all rumors. It's just all speculations, but it has been brought up to fight Otto Wallen. A lot of people don't know who Wallen is. Wallen, he took it to Tyson Fury. He did take it to him. So
you know what, Ed? He beat Tyson Fury.
I don't
I'm
think he
telling you,
did. I don't think he did.
he beat Dustin. They would have stopped that fight. And you know what? He cut him with a left hook.
Yes.
They would have stopped any other fight. They would have stopped it on the third round. They would have stopped that fight, but they didn't stop that fight. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, okay.
They would have stopped that fight. I mean, did you see that fight, Jesse?
I didn't.
No. I mean, he opened up. I don't think I've ever seen a cut that bad. Actually, I have. I've seen a cut that bad. Only one that bad. They on the third round, he hit him with the left hook, opened up his eye. I mean, that cut was wide open. And they allowed him to finish the fight, but they should have stopped that fight. And Otto Wallen, he's 6'5". Yeah. He's 6'5". Usyk is 6'3". And they should have stopped it. They allowed him to continue fighting. Watch the fight. It's a good fight. And he boxed him. Yes. He boxed him. And you know what? Usyk is a much better boxer than Otto Wallen, a much better boxer.
Okay.
I mean, do you agree? Do you agree he's a better boxer?
That's a small heavyweight.
Yeah. He is. He is. Small. He is a small heavyweight. Yes.
I agree that Usyk is a better boxer than Wallen. Yes. But here's why I disagree though, David. First of all, you're like you're pulling a G Funky right now, which G Funky always says like, no, this guy won the fight, you know that. But here's the part though, David, where we're okay. I agree. Usyk is a better boxer than Wallen. Yes, if those two guys ever throw down, I got Usyk all day.
Yeah.
But here's the thing though. Wallen is a bigger guy, so his punches are have a little more impact. Usyk's punches are gonna be too light for a guy like Tyson Fury, man. He's not gonna have the punches to keep Fury off of him. Now he can have the footwork, but again, now you're talking about all night just on your feet, man, getting away from this giant. You know, that's I'm not saying he doesn't have conditioning. He does. He definitely has conditioning. But now, I mean, Fury's much taller, has much longer arms. So it's going to be rough, man. Wallen is thicker. He's bigger. He can absorb Fury's punches a little bit more. And when he punches back, Fury feels the punches. I don't see Usyk's punches really having that much of an impact on Fury. Jesse, what do you say, man?
I got the same thing. I think he's too small. He's just a small boxer. You're gonna use the same strategy as you did with Wilder. Just lay on him, make him carry him, work his legs out.
AJ looks slim to me versus the first fight, and maybe so. Jesus, maybe he does lose a little bit of weight. He's still weighed just too bulky, man. Especially if you're gonna be, especially it's about opponents as well. If you're gonna be fighting a smaller guy that's gonna be moving around a lot, and you know your conditioning is not up there, you're moving around a lot of weight, man. I think he needed to lose some of that muscle mass. I really do. But I will say this, if AJ fights Otto Wallen, that's a fight I'm interested in. David, how about yourself?
I think it'd be a good fight, but you know what? I foresee AJ fighting the winner of Helios and Wilder. I see that fight probably happening in December, and I think that if AJ is going to stay with Garcia, AJ needs to come to Riverside and train with Garcia in Riverside.
Yes,
Garcia does not need to go to across the pond and train him over there. AJ needs to come over here and spar with Americans and prepare to fight Wilder in America.
That's it.
For it to work, don't you think, Jesse, for it to work, he needs to come over here and train in America.
Robert Garcia is a humongous heavyweight. I forgot his name.
Exactly.
I forgot his name. Humongous guy.
The kid from Michigan.
Yes.
The Chicano from Michigan. The kid's like 6'9", right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be gonna work. Yeah, but Fast question. So who was the guy working AJ's corner? It wasn't Robert. 'Cause Robert was outside of the ropes.
No,
It was
it was Robert, wasn't it?
yeah, but he was outside of the rope. He was not coming in the ring with them.
Oh, I thought it was Robert. I thought it was Robert working the corner.
There was another guy working the corner that seemed like he was working the corner, and he just stayed outside.
Oh, I didn't see.
Yeah,
I think Robert Garcia stepped in there like a time or two, but for the most part, I think he was coaching from outside of the ring. G Funky is saying that Fury knows how to use his size. AJ doesn't. I just think Tyson Fury, he's big and he's got skills. He's not big and that's all there is to him. Like Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder, he's just big. He's got a powerful punch, and he's got long arms. That's basically Deontay Wilder, but he doesn't really have many skills. Tyson Fury actually has boxing skills. So Alexander Usyk, skillful wise, he might have more skills than Fury. However, size is going to make a difference because he knows how to utilize his size. And if it were Usyk versus Deontay Wilder, I say Usyk because his skills are levels above the size difference. But
that's who it is.
But because Fury does have skills, and maybe Usyk does have more skills, Fury does have skills, and his size just puts him up that much more, man. And I don't see Usyk beating him. And the size, the punches, I just don't think Usyk has the power to really make an impact on when he throws them towards Fury. I think Fury's gonna take one and be like, I could take this guy's punches all night. So
yeah, but you know what, Ed? I think Usyk, it will just batter him with punches, and I don't think he'll hurt him, but it'll be points. I think it'll be points, and I think he's much faster than him, and I don't think he's going to give him the opportunity to lean on him. I think when he tries to lean on him, he'll just go duck him, and I think it's going to be a marathon. You know what I mean? I think he's going to be chasing. I think it's going to be. Oops! I think it's going to be a marathon. I think it's going to be a boring fight. I don't think it's going to be a slugfest. I think he's going to be chasing him all night long. I don't think I want to pay to. Well, I might pay to see it because it's going to be. I think it's going to be a boring fight because it's going to be a Floyd Mayweather fight. You know what I mean? Because it's going to be a Floyd Mayweather fight because he's going to be chasing him all night long, and he's going to swing, but he's going to swing at the air because he's going to be too fast for him. I mean, that's what I think might happen. He's going to be too fast for him.
Yeah, I agree. If the fight is made, which I don't know, there's been a lot of talk here and there. Hey, he's got to be in 7 days and stuff like that. I don't know.
Now, my prediction, it's not going to be in December because we have the World Cup. My prediction is probably going to be in February, and it's probably going to be in Saudi Arabia. And they're not going to care about pay-per-view. It's going to be pay-per-view, but it's going to be the Saudi prince. They're going to pay millions of dollars. So they're not going to really push us for us to pay all these. They're going to probably $79, $99, but the majority of the money is going to come from Saudi Arabia to pay these guys $100 million a piece. That's where the big money is going to come. Yeah,
damn it, man! Those Saudis are really coming out their pocket, man. Hey, man, all they're doing is raising our gas prices and using it to have their.
We're paying for it with gas, right, Jesse? We're paying for it with gas. Yeah.
Hey, Joaquin says I think Fury gonna clinch and lean on Usyk. 270.
He's not gonna allow him. He's not gonna allow him.
That's a lot to be running around. Yeah. Usyk uses patty cake punches. And once in a while throws power shots. Yeah, but even his power shots, I don't think are going to really do much damage to somebody like Tyson Fury. Antonio Morales, that's who you guys were talking about. Antonio Morales, he fought as well over the weekend. He got dropped. That was, I believe, his 5th or 6th fight. He got dropped. I've been following this kid's career since I found out about him. I said, I'm going to follow this kid's career. I watched his fight. He got dropped. He got back up. He wins by TKO. This kid needs to be brought up very, very slowly. He does not have a deep amateur background. So he needs to be brought up very slow. He looks good. He looks good, but he needs to be brought up very, very slowly. Do not even think of stepping up the competition. Just keep getting him in the ring against complete nobodies. He does not have an amateur background. But you know what, Jesse?
Yes, sir.
You're a trainer. So if somebody comes to you and they don't have a deep amateur background, like what's a good amateur background to you where it's like, okay, I think this kid, we can move him up pretty fast if he's looking good in his first 5 professional fights?
I'll tell you what, Raul only had 20 amateur fights.
Okay.
We started him slow. We start taking baby steps. We started him in Mexico. I'm talking about my boxer, Raul Izarraga. We started in Mexico. First few fights, we felt comfortable. We gave him he didn't have as much amateur experience as I wanted him, but I think COVID made us make a decision to shift over to the pros because there was no amateur fights at all. We were on standstill. So that's the reason we made that decision. But I started gaining a lot of experience putting him with the top guys. I mean, I think he has far the top 10 guys in the 168 division and maybe the top few guys in the 160 division minus Triple G. So, that's how we're getting our experience. He's sparring guys 20-0. He's fighting the Benavides, going to Robert Garcia. He has a handful of talented individuals, and he's doing very good. We work on our mistakes, and that's how we move on. But matchmaking is key in grooming a boxer going up. I gotta give shout out to my matchmaker from the U.S. He's been matchmaking Raul, Eddie Rodriguez, doing an excellent job. But matchmaking is key. You gotta have that whole connection in the pros. You can't just be throwing this guy with the line, though. So,
right.
His career was diminished very fast. So yeah, I would say get good sparring if he's already a pro, and gradually move up. But you have to start moving up. Like this next opponent that we're always getting, we're gonna move him up. I want a 2-star fighter now, pro boxer. I feel very, very comfortable matching him up. Ranked 38, all the way to number 11.
Wow.
Actually, a guy in the top, I think he's like between 15 and from 20 to 15. One of the guys that they didn't want to fight Raul for whatever reason. But I feel comfortable. His record speaks for himself. But we work very hard with him. We try to as much as possible as we can. Me and Travis and other coaches. My other coach, Felix Nash, we try to work on his faults that he does while sparring. We always come back and work on our mistakes, and then we go back.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think take them slowly, get the right team, get the right matchmaker, work with the right promoter.
Yeah, and Antonio Morales got dropped in his last fight, and but it showed character. He got back up and he won by TKO in a 4-round fight. So I want this kid to do good. I just don't want him to become a Deontay Wilder just because he's 6'9". But I already see some pretty good boxing skills in him. So
What's the weight? Sorry about that.
Heavyweight.
Oh, heavyweight.
Heavyweight.
He's the one that's fighting for Robert Garcia that you mentioned.
Oh,
he's the one. He's the
Antonio
heavyweight. That
Morales.
Robert Garcia from Michigan. He's the one.
Yeah. G Funky says the Papachenko style, which is Lomachenko's dad. I like the name Papachenko. Reminds me of a wrestler. Style that Usyk and Loma use is all about volume and angles. Yes, it is. Especially with Lomachenko, there's a lot of angles right there. If you can get them to go backwards, they're not the same fighters. Yeah. In the heavyweight division, especially with somebody with Tyson Fury, I just don't think Usyk can have him go backwards, man. And even if he does, Fury has long arms, much longer than Usyk, and it's just gonna be a lot easier to keep him off. And his punches, not to say that Fury, has the hardest hits, but it's just a lot more weight behind his punches. Amateur fight Usyk wins, but pro is a different ball game. Are we going for Usyk in the Miracle? Yeah. I mean, Usyk has just like Lomachenko has that deep amateur background, man. So I mean, these guys. I mean, Lomachenko was already with, I think, like in his before he even hit 10 fights. Everyone was talking about him like, hey, this is gonna be the next champion. Fury's jab will be a nightmare for Usyk. Yeah, I agree. So, well, we'll see what happens with that. Right now, it's all up in the air. It's all rumor. AJ, would he fight Wallen? We don't know. We see Deontay Wilder. He's got a fight coming up with Helenius. And I'm not so sure Deontay Wilder gets past that fight, to tell you guys the truth. I mean, Robert Helenius, I don't think he's the best, but he's actually he's decent. He's all right. And Deontay Wilder's not that good. But I'll still pick Wilder to win. I think he can catch him with a good power punch. But we'll definitely see.
Right hand.
Yeah. And all it takes is one. Unless you're Tyson Fury. If you're anybody else, all it takes is one. And if you're Tyson Fury, then I don't know how many it takes, man, because he'll just keep getting back up.
Yes.
Hey, guys, we got a fight coming up tomorrow with Richard Comey and Jose Pedraza, man. 140. I saw the weigh-ins today. I like this fight a lot. David, what's your thoughts, big dog?
You know what? I like it. Comey strong, Pedraza. There's a reason why they call him the sniper. Everybody says that they're both old and they're over the hill, but they're not, man. They're both 135 fighters, but they're both going up to 140 for a reason. Right now, all the belts except one. Last week, Puleo won. I don't know if he really won or not. I had Joel Diaz's fighter winning that fight. But all the belts are up for grabs. And you know what? I believe that they were both having problems making 135, but now they're both up fighting 140 for the first time. So it's going to be a great fight. Personally speaking, I got Pedraza winning, but it all depends. I mean, once again, if Comey, he's strong. If he fights, comes in strong, it's going to be a great fight. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a great fight. Great fight.
Yeah, Jesse?
I got Pedraza too. Yeah. I don't think I'll be watching the fight. I think they're a little too old. But I got Pedraza. How is Crawford? When is Crawford signing the papers?
Yeah, look, that fight, man. We got a bet on here that if that fight does happen this year, I owe David 100 push-ups. If it doesn't happen
Mike
this
100 push-ups.
Yeah, if it doesn't happen this year, David's he owes me 100 push-ups. So look, whether they're older or not, there's fights that I do like that I want to see, right? Like next, not this Sunday, but next Sunday, I will be at the King Kong Ortiz versus Andy Ruiz fight. Do I like that fight? Absolutely. I think that's a good fight. Do I think any of those heavyweights are going to do something in that division? Chales. Their time has passed. I think Andy Ruiz is kind of like a one-hit wonder. King Kong Ortiz is like 1,000 years old. But those two guys fighting each other, that I do like. Just like Deontay Wilder versus Robert Helenius, I don't think either one of them can do anything special in the heavyweight division. But those two guys fighting each other, I do like that matchup. So, by the way, both of those fights, they're making on pay-per-view, and that's trash, man. They're nowhere near being pay-per-view. But anyway, oh man, I don't know what happened. Just jumped out.
Hey, but you know what? That's a good card, though. You got Valenzuela, Rayo Valenzuela on that card, and you also have Abner Mares on that card.
That's for
the pay-per-view
for the Ruiz King Kong.
Yeah,
for that fight. Yes,
Rayo Valenzuela. So it's going to be good.
Yeah. That's going to be
50
good.
years old. That's a good one.
So with this fight tomorrow, Why do people think that Richard Comey is washed up, man? I mean,
No,
look,
I don't think he's washed up. I think he still has it, man.
yeah,
I think
look,
he
he
still has
lost.
it. It's
Okay,
gonna be a good fight.
so he lost a quick one to Teofimo Lopez.
He went 12 rounds with Lomachenko.
Yeah, I mean his losses. I still think he's a. I think he can be great. No, I don't think he can be great. But I still think he can give the greats a good fight, possibly even a great fight. I like Comey. I like Pedraza too, man. Joaquin is saying Pedraza, 12 round unanimous decision. Hey, Joaquin, I think it's only a 10-round fight, big dog. I think it's only 10 rounds. I think yeah, I believe it's only a 10-round fight. I'm definitely going to be watching this. I think there's going to be a great fight. I like Jose Pedraza as well. I think Comey takes it, man. I think Comey, yeah, I think Pedraza, I like this fight, David. I mean, I that's really much just all I can say is I really like this fight, man. I think this is gonna be one of those fights that everyone's gonna be like, whoa, you know what? Both of these guys, man, they know that this is probably their last chance. The loser here, or the guy that doesn't win in this fight, that's about it, right? I don't mean they don't have a career and they need to retire, but I'm saying like this is their last. They're not going to be main eventing on ESPN. Is it fair to say that?
You know what? No, because the winner of this, I believe, is going to have a chance at one of the belts. Believe it or not. I truly do. I believe the winner of this, because you know what? You got 5 belts open. Well, 4 right now. Well, 5, because you know what? Puleo, that's one of the belts that are going to be open. So I think that the winner of this fight is going to be called out. You know what? That's too bad, Jesse, because I had 2 questions for Jesse written down right here. One of them to give us his prediction of the Canelo Triple G, because I know he knows a lot about that. And the next one that I had for Jesse, it's too bad that he let me know if he hopefully comes back on, was who's he predicting Teofimo's going to fight in December. And if he believes that he's going to fight Barbosa, and what his prediction is on that one. Hopefully he'll come back on. He could answer that. Hopefully Jesse could answer that. Hopefully.
I sent him the invitation again, so I'm not sure. Maybe
I think that's him right there, Jesse M. Andy has talent. I think that's him. But his hands, I think that's him in the red at the very bottom.
No, that's not.
That's not him. That's somebody else.
No, that's not him. What's up to Second Matador? Joaquin saying Rayo called out Rolly to his face. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, you know what? Me personally, I'm tired of Rolly, man. What about you?
Yeah, but I think we kind of need characters like that in boxing, man. Just so for people to hate on. And then there's a big buildup, and then you kind of see them lose. Let me see. They might 6 more minutes after the fight in the parking lot. Hey, there you go. There you go, Joaquin. They might afterwards. But I like this fight. I'll definitely be watching it. And I think Comey probably comes out. What I was asking, Dave, was the person that loses the fight tomorrow.
Oh, losing. He's done.
That's what I was asking. They will know they're not going to main event an ESPN card again. That's that. So that's why I do like this. And I think I could see Pedraza winning, man. To me, this is kind of like a toss-up. But who do you guys got winning on this one? Do you guys got, let's see, just make it easy. Put number 1 for Comey, number 2 for Pedraza, man, on who you guys got winning this one tomorrow. Andy has talent, but his head not in it. He said he didn't take Areola serious. You know, for the Areola fight, I think they were just more focused on him losing weight and looking good. So that's basically what I think with Andy Ruiz. And then he got his nalgas tattooed. I don't know what's up with that, man. He literally, I'm not joking around. If everybody doesn't know, I'm not joking around. Literally.
I have the video. You want me to show it? I have the video. I showed it last time. I mean, and then what Chicano videotapes it in front of the media? Yeah. You know what? I should show that if he ever goes to the Pinta. You know what I mean? What Chicano literally he did that in front of all the media. No, we don't do that. We Chicanos don't do that. Come on,
Yeah, he
we don't
literally
do
got
that.
his nalgas
No,
tattooed,
and,
man.
and then
So
and then he showed it in front of the media. We
mhm.
don't do that. We
Yeah,
don't do it.
yeah, that's that's
No.
that's crazy, man. You know, uh, David, what do you make of this fight being? Do you think they're broadcasting these fights a little too late? Is it gonna be at 7:30 here in the West Coast? Is it gonna be 10:30 out in the East Coast, man? Or are you guys over there? You're in Florida. Are you guys over there just used to these fights starting that late?
You know what? The first fight's going to start at 10:30.
The main card. The main card's gonna
Oh
start.
no,
You could
that's
watch a
too
lot of
late.
the
No. You're,
prelims on
you're, you're,
ESPN Plus, but the main card's gonna start at
you know what? Usually the main card over here starts at 8 o'clock at night, and the main fight usually starts at 12 midnight. So if the main card starts at 10:30, you said 10, you said 7:30 over here.
7:30.
Okay,
Yeah, over here on the West
okay.
Coast.
So the main card over here is probably going to start at 1:30. The main fight is probably going to start at 2:30 because it's usually 3 to 2 hours. So no, people over here aren't going to stay up for that.
Okay.
The main fight is going to start at 2:30. People are going to stay up for that. Usually,
Yeah, I was
yeah, no.
I
Usually,
was thinking
yeah, no,
I was thinking like, hey, started over here on the West Coast, started at 6 o'clock. Like, why
yeah,
you starting at
yeah,
7:30? But
yeah, no,
ESPN usually does stuff like that. It's like
yeah,
7:30, and I'm like, man, that means on the East Coast, that sucker, the card is barely beginning
beginning, and there's
at
usually 3 to 4
10:30.
fights before the main fight.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
no,
wow, man. I think the
no.
main card is only gonna be 2 fights, though,
Oh, just
David.
2 fights?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, okay.
But even with that, I mean, that's already a late start, man. I'm like,
So they're gonna charge for the main card $79 for 2 fights?
no. They're not charging for tomorrow's fights for
Oh,
ESPN tomorrow.
ESPN. Oh, I thought you were talking about next week's card, the
Oh
pay per view. Oh, okay.
No. I hope they don't start it that late. I don't think so. I think they're probably started
Oh,
like at 5 or something.
okay.
But no, tomorrow the Richard Comey fight. They're gonna have 2 fights on ESPN, regular ESPN. You could watch the fights before that on ESPN Plus, but it's still at 7:30, which is 10:30 on the East Coast. And I'm like, why don't they just start it at 6 o'clock our time? And over there where you're at, it'd be 9 o'clock. Like
9 o'clock. Yeah,
that's a little bit better.
yeah.
I don't see why they gotta start so late. I want to see Wilder versus Ruiz. That could still happen. That could still happen if
Yeah.
Andy comes out with the victory and Wilder comes out with the victory. I know people might want to say AJ should take on Wilder. I just don't see that happening. I see Andy Ruiz and Deontay Wilder getting in the ring if they both come out victorious, man. I think that's a much easier fight to happen. And Deontay Wilder, every time you bring up Anthony Joshua, he just tries to get away from it quick. Him, his team, they just try to put a wall up and like just real quick, like what, like just so many different things that I seen from that side that they don't like hearing Anthony Joshua's name. So I don't think that fight happens, David.
Really? You don't think I see it happening?
Really?
Yeah, I see it happening, man. And you know what? I think it'd be a good fight.
Be interesting fight for sure. I wouldn't go to the cards. Hey, so the fight tomorrow, does it go to the cards? I think it's only a 10-round fight.
I think it'll go to the cards. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it'll be a go to the cards.
Okay,
Yeah.
no stoppage?
No, I see it going to the cards.
Okay. I see Richard Comey. Well, yeah, it is a 10-round fight. I see a good one. I see a pretty action-packed fight. I like fights like this because with fights like this, I could tell everybody, I could say like, hey, look, there's a good fight tomorrow on ESPN, right? And even though they're not boxing fans and they don't know who's fighting, they don't know Jose Pedraza, they don't know the sniper, they don't know Richard Comey, they don't know any of these guys. Maybe they're not doing anything Saturday night and they just remember, like, oh yeah, I remember the homeboy said, man, there's a fight tonight. Let me just throw it on just because I'm bored. There's nothing to do. Or maybe I have some people over blasting some music, but I want the TV on. I don't know what to put. Is there a game? Oh, I remember he said there's a fight, so let's just have that on. And it could capture the eyes of one or two people, and it allows the sport to grow. I don't like when they hide the fights on their apps, on the ESPN Plus, especially fights like this, man, where it's like, this doesn't need to be like that. You know, this isn't a big fight, you know, to try to make people pay for it. But I do like it's on regular ESPN. I see a good fight, good 10-round fight. Both these guys are a little bit older. Do they run out of gas? Depends how much energy they put into it. I see Richard Comey coming out with the fight. I saw G Funky. He was going for Pedraza. Let me see. Yes, the Wilder versus Ruiz in U.S. would make pay-per-view numbers. I mean, the PBC is charging for whack pay-per-views. So yes, definitely. If Wilder Ruiz, you know, happens, it's no doubt about it. It's definitely gonna be pay-per-view.
Hey Ed, let me ask you a quick question.
Yes, sir.
We haven't heard any more about Cepeda fighting Jojo Diaz. I mean, at first they were talking about it. I was excited about it. That is going to be a good war. All of a sudden, I mean, it came up and everybody was excited about it. No date. Has any of our listeners heard of a date? Heard any more about it? I'm excited about that fight. I mean, that right there is going to be a good clash of styles. It's going to be a great fight. Has anybody heard of a date, where and when? Cepeda versus Jojo Diaz. That'd be a great fight. Have you heard anything about that, Ed?
I have not heard any news, man. And I try to read up every single night. El Rayo needs a few good wins, then fight Stevenson. Que no cholo. What do you think, guys?
Yeah. Well, I mean, El Rayo fights at 135. Is Stevenson definitely going to go up to 135?
At some point, he has to. I mean, he's just.
But is he there at 135 now? Because he's still a champ at 130.
Yeah, he's not there yet.
No,
but eventually, he's definitely going to get there. He's young. He's still very young, and he's already big for 130. You know, he's already. So eventually, he's going to get there. What do I think? Look, right now, I like El Rayo. I do. I'm not ready to say I see something special in him. Not yet. Not yet. I see something really good in him. I think that kid's got a bright future in front of him. Shakur Stevenson, right now for me, is just a special fighter, man.
he is.
Just what a special fighter I see in him. The way I see in Bam Rodriguez, you know, and certain just very few fighters. Shakur Stevenson, love him, hate him, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I don't care what you feel about him. I'm just being real, man. That kid, man, is something special. El Rayo, yeah. I mean, he needs a few more fights, and we'll see what happens with that. Hopefully, he keeps getting better and better and better. So, I thought Jojo was fighting Lil Lopez.
Who's Little Lopez?
I don't know.
Who's Little Lopez?
Unless he's talking about Teofimo Lopez, but
no.
Teofimo is up at 140 now. So Rayo needs 10 fights before he fights Stevenson. Way different levels at this point. I agree, Joaquin. I agree, man. It's just Stevenson is just he's just such a special fighter, man. And if he moves up to 130, first of all, I'm sorry. If he moves up to 135, right now at 130, nobody beats him. Nobody beats him. I don't even think anybody comes close to beating him at 130. If he moves up to 135, I think he's got some competition, but I still favor him beating everybody, man. I do. I just, man, you know, it's just,
I mean, he comes to 135. He has Devin Haney. he has so many other fighters at 135 right now, but I mean, he's still at 130, but he does need to come down to 135 or come up to 135, and he'll clean up. He, without a doubt, he'll clean up 135. He's
at 130. There's no competition for him at 130. Look, go and unify the belts if you want, but because of political stuff in boxing, which we all know what it is, I don't think he can fight all the champions at 130. And there's no competition. There's no great fights for him at 130. Go up to 135. There's some good fights up there, and I still favor him. I think some fighters stand a really good chance against him, but I still favor him. G Funky says it's early. It's still early for Rao.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, let's not rush him so he could bite off more than he can chew. And word of the corner, Ben coming to the States. And what about Pitbull Cruz? Pitbull Cruz is going to be on the undercard of King Kong and Andy Ruiz. And Stevenson is low-key teacher of the sport, shades of some of greats in the way he moves. Josecito Lopez. Sorry.
He's done.
Josecito Lopez, man.
He's done.
I think he is too. I think at one point, retired. Man. Yeah, I know his cousin. His cousin's actually my barber.
Really?
Yeah, I like Josecito Lopez. That's a heart of a gladiator right there. But with that, David, anything, brother, before we call it?
No, nothing at all. Hopefully, we hear pretty soon the Cepeda Jojo Diaz. Hopefully, we hear when and where. I'm excited about that fight. It's going to be a great fight.
Yeah. Any word on Conor Ben coming to the States? Well, he's got a fight against Chris Eubanks Jr. It's a weird fight, but it's made. So, hey, I got Conor Ben in that one. I do. But with that, hey, shout outs to all our chingones and our chingonas, even though the chingonas como chingan. No. Shout outs to all the chingones, all our chingonas. Shout outs to Jesse. It's, too bad we lost him, but we'll try to have him back. And definitely we want to promote his fighters, which they'll be fighting in October. So definitely going to have them back on. And Mike Zavala, Diaz for, and I'll ask him about Diaz Cepeda. Okay.
Hey,
good,
brother,
man. You get
Jesse text me while we were on the show. He said Dispensa, his phone got overheated. That's why he had to leave. Pero yes, once again, muchas gracias for being on the show. And he said Dispensa for that.
Yeah. With that, you guys enjoy the fights over the weekend. Whatever you guys do this weekend, be safe doing it so we can come back and do it again. That is my man, one Mr. David Contreras. We'll do it again, man. You guys check us out. Check them out on Wednesday en Español, 7 o'clock. Yeah, we're making it happen. Oh, and lastly, gracias. We appreciate all the support. We have passed the 200 subscriber mark. And we're climbing, baby. And we are climbing. So just tune in. We got more coming up, man. For that, we're going to be out of here to the next round. You guys be good. Be safe. We'll catch you guys next time. Ole, pues.
Ole, gracias.